Hi everyone, happy Friday. Welcome to TFT Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. This is me, Oberon, with my show, The Emotional Exchanges, and I'm trying to give a forecast that specifically hones in on relationships. Perhaps they're love relationships, romances, or sometimes they're just very strong friendship, emotional bond, friendship kind of situations. Family falls into that area. So I do this reading for the elemental signs of the zodiac, and that would mean that I work with the air signs, the fire signs, the water signs, and the earth signs. And what I do is I shuffle from the ancient Egypt tarot and I pull cards to suggest a number of areas of emotionality or where emotions come into play. But then I follow all this up in each of the elemental associations by pulling an additional card from the deck, the Egipicios Kier, and it's intended to be a word of the day, a keyword, and that's for each separate sign within those areas. So for example, with air signs, then I would pull a separate card for each for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. All right, so we're going to get started right now, and therefore the air signs do come first, and that is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This one's for you. So the first card is, what is the emotional happiness, the emotional pleasures that will come to you this week? And it's the Two of Cups, so that's kind of like jackpot in a way. I'll leave it there. It's sort of glary. We'll move it there. That's almost better. My goodness. Just not getting what I want there. Okay, so maybe that'll work. So I would say that for the air signs, there's really good indication here that there's a coupling going on. It may be that people have reached a point in a relationship where they are bonding to each other. They are committing to each other. So it could be the beginning of a relationship proper on some sense, whether it's, actually a marriage or whether it's just people saying, let's be in each other's lives. So that's nice for the air signs. So then what will be the emotional challenge? What will be challenging or surprising to the air signs? And that card is the reversed King of Discs. That's like the King of Pentacles. And King of Pentacles, reversed. The surprise or the challenge may be that uh, somebody is really not able to manage their emotional life. Uh, I don't think it's you. I think it may be your other person, or I think it may be in a relationship that you could be periphery to. The King of Discs reversed applied to the idea of an emotional challenge represents maybe somebody who maybe there's a real bad change of opinion or a big difference in opinion, and this causes maybe a challenge or a surprise in the relationship. It's possible that it could be related to what we're talking about here with discs, so material matters. And we're in America, we're running into a political season, so campaign season. So it could be that we're trying to maintain decent relationships with people who have serious differences with us too. And I guess maybe I think I like that more than the idea of management techniques that I mentioned at the beginning. Okay, so then our other card is, what, if anything, is of concern to our strongest relationships in our life. It's another 2, but it's reverse 2 of discs, 2 of pentacles. And of course, you still get some of those binary qualities, those ideas about partnerships possibly, or about trying to balance situations maybe that involve partners. So I'm thinking that maybe this could be saying your partners or people you are in nice relationships with, whether they're, priority romantic relationships or not, they may be struggling with some issues right now that involve maybe it's their finances, maybe they feel they're a burden, or maybe they feel they are not able to keep their end of the bargain in some respects. So you may have to clarify where you truly stand with that. Hopefully it'll all work out. So now we're going to go on to the individual word of the week, the key word for the air signs. And Gemini. Regeneration. Regeneration, Gemini, I think strongly suggests that this is a time, or this week will prove very fatiguing to you. Make sure you're getting enough sleep and enough good food or vitamins, exercise if that's your thing, or maybe you should consider that. But I think this is saying really you should watch your health and concentrate on regaining some stability. All right, Libra. And Libra has magnificence. So for Libra, I think there is a sense of really, there's some aspects of what would be normally your duality, given the scales and that kind of thing. Libra, you are probably looking at uh, just having a good week. Maybe these other factors won't matter as much to you because maybe you just seem to have some sort of control or autonomy in the situation. At least that's what I think magnificence means. Aquarius, you get my antiquated card, Avarice. This may be saying that there's some ill will going on, and maybe it's what's going on between those two cups. The idea of maybe relationships that are committing, but also really having some balance issues. I don't know. This reading is not as full as I would like, so we're going to let it go there and move on to our next one, the fire signs. Fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Fire signs, what gives emotional happiness or pleasure this week? Probably it's about celebration. There's many things to celebrate, of course. It may be good health, it may be graduations or marriages or children being born. It may be the return to school that's maybe not so much a celebration as just sort of like a new beginning associated with knowledge and illumination, which of course is the sun. What will be the emotional surprise or challenge this week? And it's the Eight of Discs, the Eight of Pentacles. The emotional challenge is that there's a lot of work that may need to happen in certain relationships for you, fire signs. And it is probably implied that you're the one that has to do the work. But the good news is that this is something you have trained for, or you have a skill set, you have a knowledge angle. So it may just be you need to focus, use the sun's light and focus on the right thing, what you should do for this week ahead. Work on your relationships. And then finally, of those relationships, what may be of concern to them. It's the Princess of Cups, that's the Page of Cups. It's upright. All your cards were upright, which is absolutely wonderful. So the Page of Cups, the Princess of Cups, indicates that others around you, they're responding to strong vibrations of love or harmony and respect. It may be you. There may be a situation going on where for those who have been looking for a relationship, you may be finding some resonance there. If you are able to deepen a relationship, no matter how long it's been going on, this is a good sign for that as well. All right, so now I'm going to throw for the word of the week with our fire sign friends. And that's from the Egipicios Kier Tarot. It's 78 tarot cards, but they're all numbered from 1 through 78. Basically, they're just kind of arcane. So you do get the traditional major arcana 1 through 22, but after that, they're just kind of what they are. They're not really aligned to court cards or regular suits, is what it looks like to me. Anyway, here we go with fire signs and Aries. And you get the Hanged Man. So Aries, you probably need to consider some changes that involve attitudes, strongly held beliefs. Maybe there's something you need to reconsider. And I guess it would be about emotions, so this could cover a wide territory. Now Leo. Leo has the Navigator. And so in ways of emotions and love affairs and relationships, it seems to me like you've understood maybe what you need to do, how you need to get there. That sounds more specifically like an approaching relationship, but within the context of an established relationship, it could exist as a certain situation that maybe is what your challenge is too. I said the challenge was working on the relationships for the fire signs, but the Navigator maybe shows that work more specifically as finding the true focus or the true goal of the relationship. And then finally, for Sagittarians, well, you kind of hit the jackpot there with the Magician. So Sagittarians, this is a week for you to really have all the tools of the toolbox, all the strong faith, incredible willpower, everything you need, the ability to visualize what it is and direct these energies towards that. And of course, this is speaking mostly about emotionality. So it may be that in terms of what you love to do, you really have figured out how to get there. Thank you, fire signs. And now on to water signs. Water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. This one's for you. Okay, so what gives you pleasure? What is emotionally pleasing or comfortable? What do you love this week? It's the devil reversed. You maybe have really turned the corner on something kind of nasty, something maybe that was bothering you because you felt you were not controlling whatever this is, but it was controlling you. So it could be a bad habit. It could be the way that you relate or were relating to somebody in your emotional sphere. So maybe there was a codependent person, and maybe this is saying really you figured out how to get them to think outside of their own imprisonment. Of course, it could also mean you too, that maybe if from an emotional point of view, water signs, you've been seeing yourself as codependent somehow. Trying to please others, trying to, be that kind of personality, a codependent personality, then maybe this is saying you're finally pulling yourselves out of that. And then what would be challenging or surprising for you, water signs, would maybe be being a little bit more firm, a little bit more business-like, but flexible enough to realize that there's a great power of creation and really having focus, having maybe a sense of management of some degree. The Queen of Pentacles sort of is that person who knows how to create. So maybe it's an effective manager. And so that's the challenge is emotionally, can you effectively control and maybe some of that is your creative impulses, that maybe your impulses might lead you back towards the codependent behavior. Ooh, I surprised myself even with that one. So then what is of concern to those you care about around you, those you love, or those you are in various relationships with, neighbors, platonic friends, co-workers? It's the reversed King of Swords. So what concerns them maybe is the feeling that they don't know how to decide, or they don't know exactly maybe where they see themselves in relationship to you. Maybe they feel that you're not as disposed towards them. And so this could be talking about a more specific situation. It could be a primary relationship, but it certainly would seem to be an important one where maybe somebody is wondering if you're on their side or not. So you may have to think about reaching out to that person if you know who I'm talking about. All right, so water signs, what is your word of the week? What keyword or concept may also give you an idea about ways to focus or use your energy, things to avoid or things to encourage? Water sign Cancer. Premeditation. Water sign Cancer, maybe the premeditation is to not let your emotionality this week, any week, override your being able to consider what the actual options are, what is the thing there. Don't let emotions make you impulsive. We've already been talking about some of this, codependent or impulsive behaviors. So I encourage Cancer to think a little bit ahead, not outside of the box, but just ahead of the box. And then Scorpio, well, Scorpio, don't be the fool. You have the fool. Scorpio, listen to your instinct in certain ways, especially if we're talking about codependent personalities or recurrent obsessive behaviors. Dig deep a little bit, Scorpio. You know you can do that and really figure out, what it is you should be doing. Maybe it is the advice of others. Don't be harsh. Scorpio, sometimes when they feel hurt, maybe they lash out in that vengeful, reversed King of Swords way. So don't be that person. And then finally, Pisces. Pisces, I think you have the best idea maybe of the water signs. It says expressiveness. And I think this is maybe saying Pisces, Netflix and chill, or whatever it is. Maybe Pisces, you need to consider how you express your feelings, your emotionality at this time, but do this more as if this is really you speaking from your heart, from your center of inspiration and creativity. It's not just about what your emotions are, it's also really that total package of you as a person, Pisces. Don't let people forget that you're not just somebody that is sad a lot. Okay, I said that. Now we will move on to the earth signs. Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Let's see what the emotional ranges will do to you this week. How that's all going to go down. Earth signs, what will give emotional pleasure? What will make you feel happy? What is the emotional happiness quotient this week? And you have strength. Strength makes you happy because strength is the strength of your compassion, of your heart, of your ability to understand really what's important or how certain delicate matters should be handled. So perhaps this is an acknowledgement from other people in that situation, but more likely it's maybe your own acknowledgement of yourself that earth signs can be a pillar of strength, a pillar of stability. They know that. But in this particular instance this week, earth sign, it makes you happy to know that you can be exactly what you need in anything really strong emotionally that's going on. Wherever you have to give strength and stability, you will be there. I like that. Now, of course, what is challenging to the earth signs, it's the reverse tower. And it may be that you are dealing either with your own or maybe other people's inabilities. I'm sorry, let's move that way. The inabilities to resolve certain complexes or complicated matters, the inabilities to learn and evolve from what some of the past mistakes were. And I actually wonder that this sort of shows you as this patient person who's learning to accept that in a loving manner from maybe where the challenge is actually coming from. I'm not so sure that the Tower reversed is you, but maybe more likely the environment or people around you, what they may be going through. I have a feeling that that's what it is. So then finally, what is of concern, if that, is there because it is a challenge to you, but what is of concern to those others in your emotional life? And it's the reversed Wheel of Fortune. And this card just comes up way too often. It seems like between our live stream readings or our cards of the day, whatever it is. But that reverse Wheel of Fortune, I think, says there are a number of people around you that you're close to who are disconnected from their cycles. There are people who maybe feel they're really not down with it at all. Maybe these are people who have been ill recently. There's a lot of things that people can be sick about. Maybe this is other things causing those feelings. Maybe it's our political commons being so toxic. Maybe it's about our social media being so toxic. It could be just about what people are going through on their own. When I look at my immediate family or even my slightly immediate family, I'm not going to mention names, but I know a lot of people are going through some hard times, emotionally speaking, situations in their personal and intrapersonal families and other lives. I give my heart to all of you. I know how much it means right now. And I think that is what earth signs in particular maybe are being faced with, because of all the signs. In a way, you are, this pillar of rock, and maybe you're the person who best should be able to learn from your lessons. Maybe you have to model us this behavior somehow. Okay, so let's do the word of the week so we can get out of here. It's our actual last thing to do for the emotional exchanges. So let's use, for the final time, the Egipicios Kier Tarot, the Egyptian themed tarot. And we're looking for the word of the week for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Taurus, you have innovation. Taurus, emotionally speaking, you may have the ability to kind of think your way out of whatever these problems are, whatever these boxes are with yourself and other people. So for example, maybe even just for a while, you could actually persuade them to set some of this aside and try to enjoy something different. Maybe there's a group activity you could just refocus on. I'm just saying that's what I would probably do, Taurus. Plus, it's fun and enjoyable. Now, Virgo, your card, your word of the week is communion. And so no matter whatever's going on there, Virgos, you really have to have some sort of meeting of the minds, meeting of the hearts. You have to really commune in love and trust with whoever is affected, either in this situation here or in your immediate sphere of relevance. And then finally, for the Capricorns, I know this card so well for some Capricorns. Your word of the week is the provider. This card says that this is the time for you to consider, emotionally speaking, what it is you can give. And I was talking about strength being that challenge for you right now. It may be really hard for you to figure out where you can apply that emotional providing there, but I think that's what the cards are saying here. Capricorn of the earth signs. I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart, so sometimes I'll listen to these readings too and say, well, I have Moon in Capricorn, so what does that mean here? And it resonates. I hope it does for you too. So I wanted to thank everybody for coming to the Emotional Exchanges. Don't forget, we'll be here tomorrow for the happy hour, 10 a.m. Kind of going to be one and done. I do have to go into my regular job in the morning or in the afternoon, but that's at 10 a.m., so check it out. Also, Sunday is Banshees Material Matters, which is the financial keys to success. Check that out at 10 a.m. We're live in the chat room. Later on Sunday, we will be doing our live stream from 2 to 4 p.m. And then, who knows, another week we'll be ready to start, and we'll be ready for you. So thanks for watching, and take care very much. Bye-bye.